Hello friends, welcome to BMS Learning. So we are doing apoptosis, and this video will be about difference between apoptosis and necrosis. Both these processes, that is apoptosis and necrosis, are variants of cell death. Although they both end up in the cell death, but they vary greatly in all the aspects leading to the cell death. So let's discuss how they are different from each other. The major difference between these two is apoptosis, as we know, is referred as programmed cell death. That means it's a controlled and regulated mechanism, whereas the death of the cell in necrosis is non-programmed. Suppose here we have a normal cell and it's exposed to both apoptosis and necrosis separately. If it's getting apoptosed, it begins with the shrinkage of the cell. On the other hand, the necrosis is initiated by the swelling of the cell. Both in apoptosis and necrosis, cells form bleeds on its surface. But there is something more. In case of the necrosis, the bleeps fuse and become larger. The larger bleeps thus formed lack any cellular organelle as seen in apoptosis. Then in apoptosis, we see nuclear shrinkage, a process called pycnosis. And this is followed by nuclear fragmentation, where chromatin material gets fragmented. It's called cardiolysis. Both these processes are also observed in necrosis, but here one more process is followed. It's termed as cardiolysis. Basically, together these processes constitute nuclear dissolution. So, in apoptosis, the cell membrane remains intact and gets broken into several apoptotic bodies. Important feature is that organelles present in these apoptotic bodies are still functional. While in the cell undergoing necrosis, the cell membrane ruptures. And what do we see? The contents of the cell are released. Unlike apoptosis, here the cell organelles are not functional anymore. Then we see these two leading to the same fate. And what's that? Phagocytosis. Apart from these, there are other important differences. In case of the apoptosis, no symptoms are observed. The symptoms like inflammation, tissue death, and decreased blood flow at the infected site are observed during the process of necrosis. It is caused due to the self-generated signals within a cell. Necrosis is caused by microbial infections, denatured proteins, toxins, and injuries. The apoptosis does not require any energy, but necrosis requires energy to carry out the process. Apoptosis is said to be beneficial, but necrosis is always detrimental and harmful. This was all. Thanks for watching.